Hey everybody, it is Murky Gray Hunter, and I wanted to make a video showing y'all my library haul. Now, those of y'all who have seen my previous videos that I do on my library hauls, or the the videos that I make on homeschooling, y'all know about the library that we have here in the town that I live in. Um, the library that we have, I just love it so much. It's 2 stories. It's in an old building, and it's huge. It's 2 stories, and we have a cafe in there, which is really nice because they have, not only do they sell beverages, but they have like meals, like pizzas and burgers and sandwiches. And we normally just get like a coffee or a juice or something, but um, they have like a seating area where you can also sit if you want to sit and read a book or whatever. And there's a lot of couches and stuff. And then they have a complete work center area if you want to go and work on computers. And then they also have an area where they put all the new books, which is something that I like. I don't know if most libraries are like that with putting their new books in certain areas, but I just, if it is, I really like that part about a library because it just makes looking for new books so much easier. And then they have a section where all the new teen books come out, like for teenagers. Anyway, so then on the other side, well, in between both sides, they always display art from either whatever schools they get artwork from, or if it's like, I mean, just different things. It's always some piece of art that they display. And then on the other side, the whole right side of the library is all a children's area, and they have an old army truck in there where the kids can get up there and play. They have computers over there also, I guess, so if parents are working on something and so their kids can play over there. They have a bunch of toys like play kitchens and play food, and a puppet theater so kids can play. And then, of course, tons and tons of children's books. I mean, so many books. They have a bathroom over there for the kids. And I went to the bathroom in there yesterday. All I can say is that thank goodness I'm short because that toilet is very close to the ground. So I was like, oh, perfect for me. Um, and then they have an area where if you want to if you're homeschooling, you want to go to the library to do it. They have a completely closed up area where you can take your child in there to do homework or teach or whatever. But it's quiet, it's complete, and it's all glass so you can see through in case you have other kids that are out there. And then they have like another little area where it's like a story time where kids can sit and then someone will come and tell a story. And on Saturdays they do fur friends. They bring in a service dog who is trained to just sit and listen to children read, or just any person read, but they're specially trained for children. And they come in and they sit, and in order to touch and love on the dog, you have to read to the dog. It doesn't have to be a whole book, it can just be a couple of sentences out of, they have like a stack of books you can choose from, and you just have to read, like, you can read the whole thing if you want, or you can read a page, or you can read one, whatever you want to do, but that's the way you get to touch the dog. And Jade never liked to participate in that because she just like, why can't I just touch the dog? I'm like, because this is what you have to do. But now she has 2 Rotties and she reads to them all the time. So um, that she says I don't have to go because I have my own dogs. So that works out really well for her. And then upstairs they have another seating area, lots of seating area up there where like couches and chairs, and then they have separate classrooms up there where they do classes and things like that. And then they have a lot right now. They have a lot of Native American artifacts out there that they're displaying, and then they have a lot of their free magazines and papers. And then you go to the section where all the adult books are upstairs, and they have another computer area there you can work on, and then tables, and then all the books. It's huge. I mean, they have so many books. And then they have a used bookstore upstairs. I love that used bookstore. I've never seen a library with a used bookstore in it. Um, I mean, I'm sure they might have them in other places, but that was just like, oh, so wonderful. So all the books that are that they sell are donated by people, and they I'm thinking that these people that donate these books are either older people who are moving into homes or people who are moving, because the books are in fabulous shapes. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say just those particular type of people, but I'm just saying that um, they just get so many books. I don't know where they get them, but I'm glad they do. And so all the money that they make from the books, they put it back into the to the library. So anyway, I was up at the used bookstore, and every month they have a special. Usually it's like buy 3 children's books for $1, or you buy 2 books and you get one free. The adult books are buy 1 hardcover, get one free. All paperbacks are $1. It's always something. And then they do have some rare books, and even those are not expensive at all. Because if you go to Half Price Books, those of y'all who have them, and you see, if you've ever gone into the rare books section at Half Price Books, those books can be anywhere from $35, $50, $100. And so their books are like $5, $10. I think I saw one for $15. But, I mean, and we're talking about a whole set of encyclopedias. Anyway, this month they had all paperbacks for $1. And all the children's books this month are absolutely free. I'm like, they're free? She's like, all children's books are free. The only thing that we ask is that you leave a donation, whatever you like. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, of course, I left a donation. What I ended up doing is I ended up giving $1 for each book. And she was just like, you don't have to give that much. You can give $0.25 for each book. I'm like, no, I was going to come up here and buy books. And I want them to continue having this, books for free. Because I know there's sometimes where, people go there with their kids and kids don't get to get anything. So if a kid gets to get a book for free, it's worth me paying $1 for each book. So I love books. So here we go. I got this one for New Orleans, and we're gonna be going to New Orleans this spring. We were supposed to go last spring, but those of y'all who know me know the deal with that. So anyway, this was $1, and I love this because it's photographs. You guys know how much I love photographs. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to go to New Orleans. Anyway, so I got this for $1. And this was $5.95 wherever they got it from. Okay, and then I got this one, Angel Time by Anne Rice. Now, I've not seen this one before. I was collecting all of her books, and then I got sick, and I lost my storage along with 1,400 books. Oh my gosh, I was so upset. But anyway, that's all water under the bridge now, right? So I have all of these books again. I'm starting my collection again. And I've read all of Anne Rice's books, except when we got down to here, Christ the Lord out of Egypt. That's where I stopped, because that's when I lost my storage. I had purchased that book, Christ the Lord out of Egypt, and I didn't get to read it because I lost it. I don't have these other two, and I guess this is a new book of hers. So anyway, I normally don't like paperback, but I wasn't going to pass this up. This is a good book. Back sign broken. Anyway, $1 for that. Sorry for the sniffles, but I'm allergies. Okay, so here's all the books that I got for Jade. I mean, she was going to let me have these for free if I didn't want to pay anything, but... So, I gave $1 for each book. I got her this one for... We're studying space right now. So when her dad comes, we're going to go to the planetarium. He doesn't know that, but we're going to go to the planetarium. And this will be good because, like I said, we're studying planets. And then I got this one about sharks. She has a cool shark book, but she loves sharks. So, okay, then we got one on seahorses. And then we got this one. Okay, my child wants to celebrate Hanukkah every year. She asked me, Mom, how come we can't celebrate Hanukkah? And I'm like, well, because we're not Jewish, honey. But she wants to celebrate Hanukkah. And so she knows the tradition because I read it to her when we like right now that it's going to be Christmas time again, we talk about all like the different cultures and different religions and how they celebrate Christmas and what Christmas represents to them. Same as Thanksgiving. We do the same thing with Thanksgiving. Um, so anyway, she liked that book a lot. And then I got her this one, The Princess Who Lost Her Hair. I like to get Jade books. Of course, I like to get books that are like movie themed, you know, Disney. But I really enjoy getting her books like this that are stories that she is not familiar with, because Jade has a great imagination. If you guys know her, if you ever heard her stories, she has such great stories that she makes up. And so, like I said, and she loves for me to read to her. So, um, I was glad about that one. And this one I'm so excited about. This one's called What's Wrong with Grandma. And it's an autographed copy. And this one is a story of, I guess she has Alzheimer's disease. And I did not know that this was an autographed copy until I got it home. And here it is. From 1997, this story is to remind you that all life is precious. I cannot wait to read this to her. And we're getting ready to have class here in just a little bit. And so I was going to finish up the chapter book that we were reading, because we're going to I want to start reading Moby Dick to her. But I think I'm going to read this one to her. And if she still wants me to read, I'll go ahead and finish the last. I think we only have like 3 chapters left of our chapter book. But yeah, I can't wait to read that to her. And then one on planets, exploring space. And look at this book. Oh my gosh, I was so excited that she got this book. She got this book. She found it there, and look, you know how it has those little gold pages. It's so big, and okay, so Jade loves for me to read to her. And this has Peter Pan, Jungle Book, Aristocats, Toy Story, The Tigger Movie, and Monsters, Inc. Look how beautiful this book is. It's so colorful. And this is all like movie based. She's seen every single one of these movies. And I think like when I read stories to her like this that she's already read, she's already seen the movies, she just enjoys it better. I don't know why, but I guess we're kind of all like that. Like when we read, if any of y'all read like The Lord of the Rings or The Hunger Game, and you've already seen the movie, so when you're reading, at least for me, when I'm reading it, I picture the actual character, you know. But anyway, she was very excited. That lady goes, well, honey, did you get this book? Did it have a, because the specialty books that they sell for, the ones that I told you they sell, like for, I guess, I don't know if it's specialty books or like the rare books I was talking about. They put a little post-it inside, and they'll sell it for like $10, $15, whatever. She was asking her, honey, did that one have a paper? Where did you find this beautiful book? And she's like, I found it down here on this last shelf. And she said, oh my goodness, that is a beautiful book, and you're going to get that for free. So yeah, I was really excited about that book. Then we got this one, Ruth and the Green Book. Again, I love these type of books because these are just really great stories to read to her. I think, you know, like for me, reading and what I'm instilling in her reading is just a way to really open up your imagination and to take yourself to a completely different world and to just lose yourself in a story. And so, then I got this one. 10 rules you absolutely must not break if you want to survive the school bus. Again, just another cute story to read her. So, I don't know who enjoys story time more, her or me. And this one, Amazing Faces. I'm really excited about this one because this one is a poetry book. Now, we study poetry. That's part of our curriculum. And so I try to buy I try to purchase or check out books that, especially for poetry, that are either poetry that has been written by a child or is in a children's book form, like this, like it's like children, and it's they're very short. And because when I read, like I read poetry of, she knows Maya Angelou's work. She knows all about Maya Angelou, and I read some of her work to her. And sometimes some of those types of grown-up poets, she doesn't really grasp what it is. But when it's like this for children, she gets it. And then she writes poetry as well in class. So in class, we learn about a poet. Every week we learn about a new poet, and then I read work from that poet. Read poetry from that poet, and we talk about what does she think that that poem meant. Like if I read her this one, High in the Sky, then we discuss what do you think that this person was talking about, and then she writes a poem in her book. Okay, so those are all the books that I bought. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, for $1 a book, that's a fantastic buy. I'm gonna go back and check because she says they get books every day. Then I checked her out some books. Checked her out this one, The Big Book of American Heroes. Now, in history, we do history once a week as well. In history, history is a wide range of things that we do, from learning states to learning, presidents to. In history, we also study ancient Egypt to, from Genesis to ancient Egypt, which we remix the. Some of her work is Bible. Some of the Bible teachings, I should say. Even though we are not Christian, but I put religion into our curriculum, and right now she is reading Christianity. And even though I've read the Bible to her the children's Bible to her 3 times, and she understands it, we do scripture study, scripture memory, we do hymn study, and in history we're studying Genesis through ancient Egypt. Now, since we've already read the whole Bible, and she knows the stories, we can go into more detail about the places, like when we are reading, say for example, we are reading Noah's Ark. Say for example, we're reading that. She'll know exactly where this took place, more in detail about who Noah was, and what he did before, and as he traveled, and how he met his wife, and we'll get more into detail into it. And literally, I have a book that has a map, a biblical map of the place, because a lot of the places aren't the same what it is now, and so it's a little more in detail, so she gets a basic idea, of that. But also, we talk about heroes, and so we do a hero. We talk about a hero once a week, and this is a perfect book because it has so many. It's 51 different people. And what I like about these type of books, like say for example, Muhammad Ali, okay? This is just a basic introduction. It shows a picture of him and what he is famous for. Maya Angelou, she knows all about her. And so, this really does just hit basic stuff. Like there are some that we go into great detail on. Like Benjamin Franklin, we would go into more detail about him because of everything that Benjamin Franklin was famous for. Geronimo, of course, we're going to go into Geronimo, and I have showed her a video of her great grandson, and same with Sitting Bull. I also have a video of some of the descendants. They're a lot older now, but they talk about stories and stuff. And so when I show her things like that, she knows. Michael Jordan. Wow, Michael Jordan made it in this book. Anyway, so like on Martin Luther King Jr., we read. We have a whole book on him, and during African American Month, we really go into detail in certain particular people. And so even though we've read about Martin Luther King Jr., she likes to read about him every year. And so, but this is just a basic introduction. She could probably tell me more about him that's written here. Because, and the Rosa Parks, she's another one that we talk a lot about. But anyway, so I really like that book. And then this month we are really hitting a lot on Native American. Because it's Native American month, and not only just because of that, but because it's part of our culture, and I really want, and it's so near and dear to me, so I really want her to have a basic understanding, and it's so important that I've incorporated Native American culture into her curriculum, and we talk about it once a week. After we're done with all our regular classes, we talk about it, and in that class, or in that subject, we talk about different tribes, the way that they, the very beginning of the history, that the history is what we're studying right now, the history of Native Americans. And then we go into foods that they eat, the way the culture is, the living day by day, the ones who were hunting, the basket weaving, the songs, the chants, the prayers, the healings. We go into everything. And I'm teaching her basic Native American language because that's all Mama knows. So anyway, oh my gosh, I was so excited about this because I want a teepee so bad. My husband won't let me have a teepee. He says, I said, honey, I'm going to get me a teepee. He's like, where are you going to put it? I'm like, in the backyard. He's like, we can't have no teepee in the backyard. Oh, yes, we are, sir. Yes, we are. That's what the inside of a teepee looks. And see, this is, she'll read this. So excited. I want to read it right now. Anyway, we're getting a teepee. And then I'm going to take my hot tea. And me and my dogs, we're going to go in there. We're going to make a little fire. And we're going to sit. And we're going to chill out in there. I'm going to wait till they get, my dogs get a little bit bigger. Because they're puppies right now. They'll tear it up. Then they'll have to... Oh, I'll be so upset if they tore up my teepee. So I'm going to wait till they get a little bit bigger. Anyway, so we got that. And this one, Uni the Unicorn, because we love unicorns. I swear, if I could get a unicorn, I would have them all in my backyard, living in my teepee. Derek thinks I've lost my mind, but I love unicorns. Okay, here, this one here. Camille and the Sunflowers. We are studying Van Gogh right now. We also study artists. We studied Da Vinci. We just finished studying about Da Vinci. And with Da Vinci was really nice because not only was, Da Vinci was like a man who wore 1,000 hats. Not only, was he an artist, but an inventor and philosopher. And oh my gosh, he was so many things. So we studied Da Vinci for, gosh, I think about 2 months we studied him. No, it was, I'm sorry, because we do one artist for 3 months. It was a month over, so we studied him for 4 months. Because there was just so much to learn. Anyway, so now we are studying Van Gogh. And so when we learn about an artist, we do it for 3 months. And I read to her all of the biography of this person and what they were as a child and what got them into becoming an artist. And then of course, we learn all the life. And then we go into looking at all the art. And oh, it's so beautiful. That's beautiful. I love sunflowers. I just want some sunflowers painted. No, I know 2 of my children who can paint. Somebody's going to draw me some sunflowers. Anyway, so we just started studying Van Gogh last week. So, and here's another book that we're going to use for history, United States. I like this one because this has photographs. Drawings are okay, but I think photographs you really get more of an exact idea. And so then we got this one, Know Much About the 50 States. Now, okay, what we're doing for the states as well as for the presidents, we are doing one state, one president at a time. because I think that if you do all the states at one time, it's just an overload. Same with all the presidents, it's just an overload. You know, Jade's only in second grade, so what I'm doing is, you know, we just start off with Alabama, and of course she loves it. She keeps saying she's an Alabama girl. I said, honey, you're from Texas. Her daddy is from Alabama. She goes, I'm an Alabama girl. I'm like, really? Because I remember you being born in Texas, but okay. Anyway, so we, you know, are just learning state by state, and what in this book, this kind of just hits basic information. So like I have some flashcards, and I have another book that I bought, and it talks more in detail about the states. Of course, we have we have the United States map up, and then of course we have a world map up. Now, what I'm doing with that is I'm teaching her the capital, you know, for each state, and then just some fun facts about each state. And I think right now that's enough for her. Same with the presidents. I also bought some flashcards. I bought the flashcards at Target for $1 each, and they are really, really nice. They are photographs. They're not drawings, they're photographs. And it has a bunch of information on the state. And if you're doing the presidents, it has information on the president on the back of the card. And again, this is the same thing. You know, we just talk about, say, George Washington. We talk a little bit about George Washington and how, you know, he was the first president, and some fun facts about George Washington. And, you know, that's how she remembers, you know, like, that's how I'm teaching her. When she gets older, you know, of course, we go into more detail. But right now, just the fact that she knows the presidents, and she can tell me at least 3 things about that president, then that's great. We have more books here on Native Americans. And I'm really glad that she likes to learn about Native Americans. That makes me feel so good. Because if it was something that she wasn't interested in, I wouldn't force it on her. But she really does. She thinks Native Americans are beautiful, and she loves that part of our culture. And so we went to the powwow this month, and she really enjoyed that. We want to go to a reservation where she can actually sit and talk with some Native Americans, and, you know, just better than just a powwow, you know. Anyway, and we are also studying Shakespeare. Now, this is a book on his work in his world. Now, with Shakespeare, this is a little harder for her. So what I do is we do it in pieces. Like we learn about in the course Shakespeare. We do. I'm teaching her about theater. Now, with that, we also, like, we do puppets and puppet shows, and she gets to make up a play, and this way she understands what the theater is about, and then that way I can intermix Shakespeare and what his work was like, who he was, how he got started, some of his famous plays and stories. And so I try to make it fun, because otherwise it's boring for her. And I got another. This one is a story book. These are just stories that Shakespeare wrote, and these are just stories, and these are like short stories, which is great because again, she likes stories. So this is just literally like a very short story. It's like 2-page stories. Another one, Mommy's Little Sunflowers. We love sunflowers. Okay, and also here's another book on Shakespeare, and here is another one. Now, okay, on his plays. Now, what we do, we've already read the Midsummer's Night's Dream. So, you know, I've already read all of these, and so I'm trying to see which one she would like to go into next. And I'm thinking she's going to pick Romeo and Juliet. And then we'll make some puppets, and then we will act out the play, children's version. So, and I like that they have these like for children, because it is broken down into a children's version where, you know, you can still enjoy Shakespeare, but in a child's version. You know what I mean? Okay, and then we also are studying composers, and we pick one composer and we talk about that composer for 3 months. We just finished Beethoven, and now we are studying Mozart. And this just really helps her to understand what the whole history of music and to appreciate music. Not just that stuff you hear on the radio, but where music began, the really and in this, we also, I can incorporate other religions into music. Like I can incorporate, you know, the tribal drums from Native Americans. I can put in, you know, flutes from the Native Americans or other cultures that play music, you know, and she gets to understand what it means, what it represents to that particular culture. But right now we are studying Mozart, and we do we're going to talk about flutes. Instead of, because you know she wants to learn about different instruments, so she has a keyboard and she loves playing that keyboard. And so what we're doing is we're going to learn all about flutes, because when we were at the powwow, she watched this Native American playing his flute, and I bought her one, so she really likes the sound of it. And so we're going to study flutes right now, and then we'll go on to strings, and then we'll do percussion, and so we'll just move it on like that, and that way she can get an understanding of all different types of instruments. She's got one of these too. So anyway, we do that in music. Here is another book on the Apache. That is what we are. We are Apache. And so this is a book that she'll be able to read. She'll read this to me. What we do is I have her read a book in class out loud. This helps with her oral reading, because you know how some kids don't like to read out loud, and so that's what that helps. It helps strengthen that. Something fun for Thanksgiving. Now, we've already read this book, Day of the Dead, and when it was the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, we celebrated that. That was a very big part of our tradition, and so she wanted to read this one again. And this is a book that she can read to me. I read this one to her, but she can read it to me. This is a really, really cute book. If I see this, I'm going to buy this. This is really cute. But she understands what the Day of the Dead is, what it represents, and how it all started. And so that to me is very important, because that is something that is recognized worldly, and it's something that we ourselves celebrate. So, and then the last one is 5 Black Cats. I only got this one because we have black kitties, and look how super cute. We only have 2 because my Salem died last year. But after winter time, we're going to be getting, I think, we're going to be getting 4 more black cats. They live outside. And so we have a lot of space for our kitties. Living out here in the country, they're going to love it. Anyway, alright guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it seems like a lot of books for Jade here, but we use all this is, and believe it or not, this is just going to be 2 weeks worth. Not to mention all the other books that I have and the work that we do. Look at the creeper. Look at the creeper coming into the refrigerator to get something. We have a refrigerator in the classroom, so she's coming here to probably get her face washed if she keeps in here. Alright guys, talk to y'all later. Bye.